In the earlier episodes of this algebra series, I showed you how we can use a real pan balance and their pictures to introduce the big idea of equivalence in equations. In this episode, I'm going to use those same pictures with unknown quantities represented as shapes to introduce or to teach algebraic thinking. And hang around to the end because I want to show you a common misconception and why it is wrong. Now take a look at this example. We can see it is balanced, so we can say that the value of a circle and triangle combined is equivalent to 20. What whole number values can you attribute to these two unknown values? There's a whole range of possibilities. It could be 1 and 19, 2 and 18, 3 and 17, and so on. But can it be 10 and 10? Now, you may have heard at some stage during your education the phrase or the saying that same shape, same value. Different shape, different value. Now, while that is true, it's not the whole truth because different shapes can also have the same value. So 10 and 10 is certainly an option. Now, let me explain briefly by showing you these two shapes. These are clearly two different shapes. If I filled them with water, they would likely hold different amounts, right? But couldn't they also hold the same amount? Yes, they could. And in that lies the misconception. We should be thinking same shape, same value, different shape, different value, but they can also be the same. Okay, let's put that aside for now and balance some equations. Here is a pan balance and its matching equation. What would happen if I place the orange shape on one side of this pan balance? The pan would become unbalanced, so I would need to place the same value on the other side to keep it balanced. Similarly, what would happen if I removed the red shape from one side? Again, it would become unbalanced, so I would need to remove one from the other side to keep it balanced. With these ideas of balance, let's simplify this equation further. I can also remove one square from each side. What numbers could we attribute to each shape to keep the pan balanced? Same shape, same value, so the squares must all be the same. Now they could be 3 each, and the red circle could have a value of 9. Obviously there are many values, but experiences like this open the door to many different algebraic thinking activities. Let's take a look at another picture. Use what you know to figure out the missing values. The first balance shows a simple subtraction situation. We have 15 on one side and 8 on the other, so we know the circle on that side must have a value of 7 kilograms because 8 and 7 is 15. If that is the case, the two circles on the right side of the second pan balance must have a total of 14 kilograms because 7 and 7 is 14. And that again leaves a simple subtraction problem to determine the value of the small square. Let me show you a different representation, and I want you to pause and consider it for a moment. You can see on the first scale that 3 spheres and 1 cylinder has a value of 17. We can remove those same 4 shapes from the second scale, which gives us a value of 8 for the cylinder that's left. We can then remove that 8 from the first scale and figure out the value of the spheres. I'll leave you to do the rest. Lastly, let's explore that first problem I gave you at the start of this algebra series. Use what you now know to figure out the values of each of these shapes. Again, you can remove the total value of the shapes in the first circle from the shapes you see in the last circle. That will give you a value of $12 for a triangle. You can then use this information to figure out the value of the squares in the second circle, and I think you can work it out from there. Now this is what I want you to do. 1, remember the convention for unknowns in algebra. Same shape, same value, different shape, different value, but they can also be the same. Now these unknowns could be shapes, or they could be letters like X and Y. And 2, situations involving equivalence and equations give you the opportunity to explore algebraic thinking activities, and I've provided some more examples in the links below. And finally, if you found value in this episode, please give us a thumbs up and share it. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another learning opportunity with me. See you next time.